Hi, Phil Schoenberg, Fastpitch Power. Last post we talked about frontside resistance and how important that is in your ability to stop your forward momentum and create maximum velocity and command when delivering your pitch. Just as a refresher, frontside resistance is the ability to come explosively off the pitching rubber, land in power K position, create a firm front side, and fire through that firm front side. Now, we've also talked many times about the four phases of the pitch: the load, the reach, the track, power K, and the fire and drive phase. We're focusing in a little bit on the reach phase, which I consider to be, they're all equally important, but the reach phase is really important. You must complete your reach phase. And it is going to lead into the discussion we're going to have today, and that is about drive foot eversion. Your drive foot is the lead foot loading onto the pitching rubber. For a right-hand pitcher, it's simply your right foot. For a left-hand pitcher, it's your left foot. So when I'm driving off that pitching rubber, I want to have all my weight in my drive foot, and I want to push back on that pitching rubber and get explosively out toward my target, track, and then fire and drive through to create maximum velocity and command in the strike zone. So drive foot eversion. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what it is, what causes it, and the mechanical breakdowns that result due to your inability to keep your drive foot, toe, and knee forward. So I'm going to start, as I often do, with hitting. And I want you to watch the action of my hips, or in this case, the inaction of my hips. When I'm at bat, you can see that my feet are going to be lined up in the batter's box, square to home plate, and I'm going to have my bat here. Now, if I simply swing that bat with my upper body using no hips, look at what happens to my drive foot. That's the foot, that is my trail foot that I'm generating my power from. It just stays there because I haven't used, watch again, I have not used my hip whip at all. I have not driven that hip around and forward to create maximum power from the ground up. Conversely, when I'm in my batting position and I go to hit the ball and I use that hip whip, look what happens to my drive foot, toe, and knee. They drive toward my target and give me the ability to create really good bat lag with my hip whip and explosively accelerate that bat down the hitting zone and drive that ball over the center field fence. So similarly with pitching. When I come off the pitching rubber, and this is why I wanted to focus a little bit on the reach phase, when I come off the pitching rubber, if I do not complete my reach phase, which is hip extension and forward explosion off that pitching rubber, if I don't complete that reach phase, what's going to happen if I track and open up my hips too soon? Watch what happens to my drive foot, which is my right foot. When I come off the pitching rubber and I open too soon without completing my reach phase, and just as a reminder, completing your reach phase is coming explosively off the pitching rubber, seeing both hands cover your catcher's glove, and then tracking quickly. Look at the position of my drive foot, toe, and knee. From here, I can use that hip whip that I just demonstrated in hitting to create really good whip with my forearm lag and forearm fire and drive my drive foot knee toward my stride foot knee. When I open up too soon and I create this situation where my stride foot has kicked over and crossed over the power line and my drive foot has everted, you can now see that the whole side of my drive foot is now in contact with the ground instead of just my drive foot toe with my knee in a power forward position. So when that happens, I got to get that drive foot through to finish my pitch. Now, instead of a drive foot, it becomes a drag foot. It becomes like an anchor that is going to necessitate the forward movement of my body, breaking down front side resistance, which we clearly stated in the previous post we never want to do, and it's going to cause me to prematurely rotate because I need to use my upper body and hips now improperly to pull or drag that drive foot through instead of be able to easily drive that drive foot through with my forearm fire. So there are so many mechanical breakdowns that take place when that drive foot everts. And it's not easy, it's simple, but it's not easy. But the concept is that if I complete my reach phase, that my obviously strength and conditioning is a critical element to your ability to develop and prepare your body to employ these explosive movements and become the best pitcher you can be. So you need to be strong in your trunk and your core in order to keep that drive foot, toe, and knee in that forward position, in order to load and complete my reach phase before I track. Look at the position of my drive foot, toe, and knee. Track, still there. Okay, now open my shoulders to the power line as we've discussed. I fire and drive through. Easy to get my drive foot through as fast as my pitching hand goes. And that's the whole key. When I land in Power K, this is where my delivery begins. When I land in Power K, I want forearm fire and my drive through to be same time, same speed. So when you're talking about drive foot eversion, you're talking about many elements of your entire pitch mechanics breaking down as a result of that drive foot becoming a drag foot. So make sure that you complete all 4 phases of your pitch when you're getting ready to deliver a ball: a load, reach, very important in drive foot eversion, the track, and the fire and drive phase, and you will be a much better pitcher. I hope that this has been useful. Love to hear your comments for really great drills on how to keep that drive foot, toe, and knee forward, on how to avoid drive foot eversion. Go to Fastpitch Power Plus. Talk to you next time.